Are you struggling to find clients? First, change your mindset. Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman. Showcase your best work on social media and let clients come to you. From chasing clients to clients chasing you.
So the first thing I'm going to do is create a color mat. To do this, I'm going to the File menu, selecting New Item, and then choosing Color Mat. Actually, I already have one in my project, so I'm just going to click Cancel here and use the existing one. Now, I'm dragging this color mat onto my timeline. Next, I'm adding this grid image to the timeline, placing it right above the color mat. Now I'm going to the Effect Controls panel to make some adjustments. And now I'm changing the blending mode. I'm clicking on the blending mode dropdown and selecting darker color. This is going to help it blend nicely with our background. Now here's where it gets interesting. I'm clicking on the masking tools and I'm going to create a circular mask. I'm drawing it right here in the center. You can see what I'm doing on screen. Now I'm increasing the mask feather. I'm dragging the slider up and you can see how it creates that nice, smooth blend around the edges. This is exactly what we want. I'm going to the Effects panel and searching for 4 color gradient. There it is. I'm dragging and dropping this effect onto the color mat. Now in the Effect Controls, I'm changing the colors to create this nice gradient. I want to let you know that all the assets I'm using in this tutorial, the images, the sound effects, the animation presets, and even this complete project file are available exclusively for YouTube members. For everyone else, don't worry. The voiceover that I'm using in this project is available in the description below, so you can still follow along and create this edit yourself. Next, I'm going back to the Effects panel and searching for Vignette. Found it. I'm adding this to the color mat as well. This is going to darken the edges and really focus our viewers' attention on the center. Now it's time to bring in our magnifying glass image. I'm dragging it onto the timeline. But wait, it's facing the wrong direction. No problem. I'm going to Effect Controls and searching for Flip. I can see horizontal flip right here. I'm dragging and dropping this onto the magnifying glass image and boom, it flips horizontally. Now let me remind you again, all these assets, including this magnifying glass image, the grid, everything, it's all available for YouTube members. Now I'm selecting the text tool and I'm typing out our first text. For this text, I'm using a font called Helvetica. It's a really clean, modern font. And the best part? You can easily find this font on Google for completely free. Just search Helvetica font free download, and you'll find it. Now, I need this text to slide from right to left. To do that, I'm going to the Effect Controls panel and I'm turning on the Position keyframe. I'm clicking that little stopwatch icon next to Position. Now I'm moving forward in time, and I'm dragging the text to create this sliding animation, moving it from right to left, just like this. Let me play that back for you.
Are you struggling to find clients?
Nice. It's sliding smoothly across the screen. Now I'm going to add a drop shadow to our magnifying glass image to give it more depth. I'm searching for drop shadow in the Effects panel and applying it to the glass. Now I'm adjusting the drop shadow settings, playing with the distance, the softness, the opacity. Feel free to tweak these settings according to your preference. I'm adjusting mine like this until it looks just right. Now for the fun part, I'm going to animate the glass itself. To do this, I'm using the Transform effect. I'm going to Effects, searching for Transform, and I'm applying it to the magnifying glass. Now in the Effect Controls, I'm turning on the Position and Rotation keyframes for the Transform effect. I'm clicking those stopwatch icons. At the starting point, I'm moving the glass slightly to the left side, off screen. I'm also adding a little bit of rotation, just a slight tilt, to make the animation more dynamic and interesting. Now here's the secret to smooth animation. I'm selecting both keyframes, right-clicking, and choosing Ease In and Ease Out. This creates that smooth, professional motion instead of a robotic, linear movement. But we can make it even better. I'm clicking on the graph editor now, and I'm adjusting the curve like this. You see what I'm doing? I'm making it start faster and then slow down at the end. This creates a much more natural, polished animation. There we go.
Are you struggling to find clients? Are you struggling to find clients? Are you struggling to find clients?
Now I'm clicking on New Item again, and this time I'm selecting Adjustment Layer. I'm adding this adjustment layer to my timeline. Now I'm going to the Effects panel and searching for Gaussian Blur. I'm dragging this effect onto the adjustment layer. Here's what's important. I'm making sure the adjustment layer is positioned above the text layer but below the magnifying glass. Now I'm going to Effect Controls, and I'm increasing the blur value. I'm dragging it up to create a nice, strong blur effect. Now here comes the masking part. At the starting point of the animation, I'm creating a rounded mask on this adjustment layer. I'm making sure to hold Shift while dragging to create a perfect circle. I'm making it smaller and adjusting it to match the exact size of our magnifying glass. And now I'm increasing the feather a little bit so it blends smoothly. Now I'm turning on the Mask Path keyframe, clicking that stopwatch icon. Now I'm moving ahead a few frames in the timeline, and I'm adjusting the mask position to follow the glass. I'm doing the same thing throughout the entire animation. Moving forward, adjusting the mask. You can see what I'm doing here on screen. This is important. Make sure you check the invert option on the mask. This way, everything inside the mask shows clearly, and everything outside the mask is blurred. Let me scrub through the timeline and check between the keyframes. I'm making sure the mask is always aligned with the glass. If I see any spot where it's not perfectly aligned, I'm just adjusting it slightly. There we go. Now our animation shows that the area through the magnifying glass is completely focused and clear, while everything else is blurred.
Are you struggling to find clients?
It looks fantastic. Now I'm selecting our text layer, and I'm going to add something really cool. I'm going to Effects and searching for Long Shadow. Now, this is important to note. This long shadow effect is only available in Premiere Pro 2025 and above. If you're using an older version, you might not have this effect. Now I'm going to copy my exact settings for the best visual result. I'm adjusting the shadow angle, the length, and the opacity, setting it up just like this. You can see the settings on screen right now. This creates such a nice depth effect. The long shadow makes the text pop and gives it that modern, stylish look.
Are you struggling to find clients?
Now that our first animation is looking great, I'm selecting all these three layers, the text, the glass, and the effects. And I'm right-clicking and choosing Nest. This combines them into one manageable layer, which makes it much easier to work with and animate as a single unit. Alright, now we're ready to move forward to our second animation. For the second animation, I'm adding this brain image to the timeline. I'm dragging it right here. Now I'm going to Effects and searching for Tint. I'm applying the tint effect to the brain image. Now in the effect controls, I'm changing the tint colors. I'm clicking on Map Black to and Map White to, selecting colors that create this nice, vibrant look. Something like what you're seeing on screen right now. Let me just remind you one more time. If you want to download this complete project file with all the layers already set up, all the assets included, just join the YouTube membership. The link is in the description, and you'll get instant access to everything. Now I'm adding the long shadow effect to the brain as well. Just like we did with the text, I'm applying it and adjusting the settings to make it look cohesive with our overall design. I'm adjusting the position of the brain image now, placing it where it looks best in the composition. Now I'm selecting the ellipse tool from the toolbar. I'm drawing a round shape around our brain, creating a perfect circle. I'm placing this shape layer underneath the brain layer in the timeline. Now in this shape, I'm turning off the fill. I'm going to the shape properties and unchecking fill. Then I'm turning on the stroke and increasing the stroke size. I'm making it nice and thick. Now I'm decreasing the opacity a bit, bringing it down so it's subtle but visible. I want to add a long shadow to this shape as well. So I'm going back to the brain image, copying the long shadow effect, and I'm pasting it onto our rounded shape layer. There we go. Actually, I'm going to paste the long shadow effect once more and tweak the settings so the shadow shows on both sides. This creates a really nice, balanced look. Now I'm duplicating this rounded shape. I'm holding Alt and dragging to create a duplicate. On this duplicate, I'm turning off the shadows and changing the color to something different. You can see what color I'm choosing right here. Now in the effect controls, I'm turning on the scale keyframe and the opacity keyframe for this shape. I'm clicking both stopwatch icons. Now I'm moving forward in the timeline, and I'm increasing the scale, making it grow larger. At the same time, I'm slightly decreasing the opacity so it fades as it grows. Now I'm selecting all the keyframes, right-clicking, and choosing Ease In and Ease Out. And once again, I'm adjusting the graph to make the animation super smooth. I'm creating this nice curve so the animation feels natural and professional. Now I'm adding a simple drop shadow to this shape as well. This creates more depth and makes everything feel more three-dimensional. Perfect. Now I'm copying this rounded shape 2 more times. I'm positioning them all in the same center point, but I'm decreasing each circle's size, so we have 3 circles: small, medium, and large. And they're going to scale up 1 by 1 in sequence. This is going to look amazing, like a ripple effect. Now I'm adjusting the keyframes for each circle, staggering them so they animate one after another. I'm making sure the timing looks smooth and the animation flows nicely.
First, change your mindset. First, change your mindset.
When I'm happy with how the animation looks, and yes, this is looking really good, I'm selecting all the layers and nesting them together. This keeps everything organized and easy to manage. Now I'm selecting the first animation layer. That's our magnifying glass animation we created earlier. I'm going to Effects and adding the transform effect to it. In the transform effect controls, I'm turning on position, scale, and rotation keyframes. Now I'm adjusting these values like I'm showing you here on screen. This is going to create the effect that our magnifying glass is moving across the screen, transitioning from the first scene to the second. The animation looks like the magnifying glass is traveling over the text and revealing the brain animation. It's such a cool transition. When the animation is looking good, I'm selecting all the layers and making the keyframes ease in and ease out. And yes, I'm adjusting that graph again. I'm creating this curve where the animation starts fast and ends slow. This is the key to professional-looking motion graphics.
Are you struggling to find clients? Are you struggling to find clients? Are you struggling to find clients?
Now, at the end of this animation, I need to rotate the magnifying glass and reveal our second animation properly. To do this, I'm turning on the scale and rotation keyframes at the last position. Now I'm making the glass slightly bigger at this point, and I'm rotating it. I'm moving a few frames forward and creating another keyframe where I rotate it slightly more. But first, and this is really important, I need to make sure the anchor point is at the center of the glass. This way, when I rotate it, it rotates around the glass center instead of some random point. I'm adjusting the anchor point position right now, centering it perfectly. Now I'm selecting the first keyframe, right-clicking, and choosing Ease Out. And I'm adjusting the graph, you guessed it, to make it start slowly and move fast at the end. This creates that dramatic spinning reveal effect.
Find clients.
Now I'm selecting the first animation layer and pressing Shift+D on my keyboard. This adds a cross-dissolve transition effect, which makes the transition between our two animations super smooth and professional. I'm noticing that I can't see the lines properly on the brain animation. So I'm going to go into that nested sequence and change the line color to something darker so it shows up more clearly. I'm selecting one of the circle layers and changing its color. I'm also adjusting the keyframes to make sure the animation is smooth. Now I'm deleting the remaining circles that I don't need, and I'm copying and pasting our modified shape where we made the changes. I'm adjusting the sizes now, making the first one smaller, the second slightly larger, and the third even more larger. Now it looks much better, exactly how I want it. Now I'm selecting the second animation nested layer, going to Effect Controls, and turning on the scale and rotation keyframes. If I rotated the glass from left to right in the first transition, I need to make sure the second animation also moves from left to right so the movements match and flow together naturally. When I'm done setting up the animation, I'm selecting the last keyframe, right-clicking, and choosing Ease In. Then I'm adjusting the graph once more, making it start faster and then slow down gradually. Now I'm selecting the second animation layer and pressing Shift+D again to add another cross-dissolve. This makes both animations blend together with a smooth transition. Perfect. Now our animation is flowing beautifully from one scene to the next.
First, change your mind.
Before we continue, let me remind all the YouTube members watching this.
First, change your mindset.
All these assets, the project file, everything, it's already uploaded in the post section for you. Just head over to the YouTube channel posts and grab the download link. And if you're not a member yet, seriously, join now. You'll get access to all my tutorial files, and it's such a great value. All right, back to the edit.
First, change your mindset. First, change your mindset. First, change your mindset.
At the end of the second animation, I need it to move downwards so the third animation can appear smoothly. To do this, I'm going to Effect Controls and turn on the Position keyframe. I'm moving slightly ahead in the timeline, and I'm dragging the animation downward, moving it off screen at the bottom. Now I'm selecting the first keyframe, right-clicking, and choosing Ease Out. And yes, I'm adjusting the graph again. This time, I'm making it start slowly and move faster at the end, creating that accelerating motion as it
Change
exits.
your mindset.
Great. Now we're ready for our third animation.
Your mindset.
Now for the third animation, I'm adding this falling man image to the timeline. I'm creating a new color matte now. I'm going to File, New Item, Color Matte, and selecting a color. Now I'm adding our grid image to the timeline again, placing it above the color matte. I'm selecting the falling man image and changing its blending mode. I'm clicking the drop down and selecting lighter color. This creates a really cool integrated look. Now I'm selecting the grid image and going to Effects. I'm searching for Invert and adding this effect to the grid. This is going to invert our grid from white to black, or black to white, creating a completely different look. Now I'm creating a rounded mask on the grid image, drawing it just like this. You can follow along with what I'm doing on screen. I'm increasing the feather so it blends smoothly into the background, and I'm reducing the opacity to somewhere around 10%. This creates this subtle background element that adds texture without being overwhelming. Now I'm selecting the falling man image, and I'm going to Effects to search for Transform. I'm adding the Transform effect to this image. In Effect Controls, I'm turning on the Position and Scale keyframes. At the starting point, I'm positioning the man up high at the top of the frame. Then I'm moving forward in the timeline, and I'm moving him downward. At the same time, I'm decreasing the scale, making him smaller. This creates the illusion that he's falling from up high, moving away from the camera. I'm selecting the keyframes, right-clicking, and choosing Ease Out. Then I'm adjusting that graph, making it smooth and natural.
Stop chasing them. Stop chasing them.
There we go. The animation looks like he's really falling through space.
Mindset. Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman.
Both animations are now blending smoothly together. Now I'm selecting the text tool and I'm typing out our text. I'm using the same font we used before, Cool Vetica, for consistency in the design. I'm changing the text color to something that stands out nicely. Now I'm duplicating the text layer, and I'm typing our second word, chasing. This is going to be our highlighted word, so I'm changing its font to something more elegant. I'm using Edwardian Script ITC. You can download this font easily for free. Just search Edwardian Script font on Google and you'll find it. I'm increasing the size of this text because it's our highlighted featured word. I want it to really stand out. Now I'm adjusting the position of the first word according to the second word, making sure they're aligned nicely. I'm copying this layer to create the third text element, typing in the third word, and adjusting its position as well. Now here's a cool trick. I'm selecting the highlighted word, chasing, and I'm changing its blending mode to difference. This creates a really unique inverted look that makes the word pop in such an interesting way. Now we're going to add a light element at the top. I'm adding this light image to the timeline and positioning it at the top of the frame. I'm creating a mask on the light, drawing it like this so it blends properly into the scene. Then I'm changing its blending mode to lighter color and increasing the feather value so it blends smoothly and creates that soft, glowing effect. Perfect! This adds such a nice atmospheric touch to the animation. Now we're going to create a flicker effect, which is super cool for transitions. I've actually made a preset for this, so you can just drag and drop the flicker effect from the assets folder. But let me show you how to create it from scratch so you understand the technique. If you download the project file, which again is available for YouTube members, you'll find this flicker effect ready to go. But here's how you make it. For the first keyframe, I'm setting the opacity to around 20%. Then I'm moving forward just 2 to 3 frames and setting the opacity to 100%. Then I'm moving forward another 2 to 3 frames and setting it to 0%. Then back up to 100%, then down to somewhere in between. I'm creating this random pattern like you're seeing here. The key is to keep the keyframes close together, just 2 to 3 frames apart. This creates that rapid flickering effect. You can see the pattern I'm creating here on screen. This is going to make the light look like it's flickering on and off, like an old light bulb.
Stop chasing them. Stop chasing them like
Now I'm selecting all these layers and nesting them together. I'm cutting the nested layer right here at this point. Now I'm adding a white color matte underneath everything. I'm going to Effects and adding the Transform effect to the nested layer. I'm reducing the scale to around 70 to 75%. This shrinks our main animation and creates space around it where we can showcase other videos. In a real project, you would add your other video clips around this main animation to showcase your portfolio or related content. For this tutorial, I'm using color mats as placeholders for reference, but you would replace these with your actual video clips. When you've positioned everything how you want it, I'm nesting everything again. Now I'm adding the transform effect to this new nest. I'm turning on the scale keyframe, and I'm increasing the scale like this. The animation is going to zoom out from full screen to the smaller size, revealing all the videos around it. I'm adjusting the graph to make the animation smooth and professional looking.
Showcase your
Actually, I need to delete the first transform effect here. We don't need it anymore. In the scale property, I'm typing 30 as the starting value. This gives us that nice zoom out effect. Now our animation looks great. It zooms out and reveals all the content around it.
Showcase your best.
This is such a dynamic way to showcase multiple pieces of content.
Salesman. Showcase your best work on social.
Now let's add some extra style to make it even better. I'm going to Effects, then Video Effects, and in the Video Effects folder, I'll find Film RGB Split. I'm adding this to our animation. Now, this effect is also only available in Premiere Pro 2025 or later, so keep that in mind. Here are my exact settings. You can see them on screen right now. This creates those cool chromatic aberration lines and distortion effects. Now I'm turning on the vertical distortion keyframe. At the start, it's at 0%, and somewhere around here, I'm setting it to 60%. This creates that glitchy, distorted look that's so popular in modern motion graphics. It looks really cool and adds that extra cinematic polish. Now I'm copying the color matte and grid image from the earlier section and pasting them here. I'm also copying and pasting the black background and grid image from before. Now I'm copying the text elements from the previous animation. I'm selecting the highlighted text and changing it to say clients instead. I'm adjusting the position to make it look good. I'm selecting the other text layer and typing from so it will read from clients. Now I'm copying this from text and changing it to say chasing, completing the phrase we want. I'm copying all three of these text layers and pasting them to the side. Now I'm changing the text blending mode to difference. So against the white background, it turns black and remains visible and stylized. Here I'm typing out different text for each layer. Make sure you keep each word on its own separate layer. This makes animating them individually much easier. Now I'm typing the highlighted word "you" on a new layer. I'm adjusting all the text positioning like this, so the first text appears first, then the second, then the third in sequence. This creates a nice staggered reveal effect.
Let clients come to you. From chasing clients to client.
I'm noticing that I need to make the third scene slightly longer. So I'm going into that nested layer and increasing its length by dragging the endpoint.
Showcase your best work on social media and let clients come to you.
Make sure you also adjust the end frames and
From
duration to match what you need. I'm looking at the line distortion effect that's running through the full animation, and I think it's a bit too strong. So I'm decreasing the distortion amount slightly right here to make it more subtle.
On social media and let clients come to you. From chasing clients to clients chasing you. Clients to
Now, for the transition between scenes, I need to add a flicker effect. I'm overlapping the layers slightly. But first, let me create the text animations.
From chasing
I'm using a simple slide-up animation for these text elements. You can make this easily from scratch. If you don't know how to create basic text animations, just check out my previous tutorials.
From chasing clients
For the first and second scene text, I'm using a slide down animation instead.
to clients chasing you.
Now, for the flicker effect between the scenes, I'm using my flicker preset.
To clients chasing you.
You can also find this in the Assets folder. Remember, all these assets in this complete project file are available only for YouTube members.
Clients to clients chasing you.
Join the membership. It costs less than your snacks, and you get all this premium content. The flicker effect makes the transition look so premium and out of the box. It's that professional touch that really elevates the whole edit.
To clients chasing you. Clients chasing.
Make sure you change the blending mode to different so the text remains visible against different backgrounds.
The clients chasing you. Chasing.
Now we're going to add some real spice to make this edit look smooth and cinematic. First, I'm adding an adjustment layer to the timeline, placing it between the first and second animations. We're going to create a smooth transition here using Gaussian blur. I'm going to Effects and adding Gaussian blur to the adjustment layer. I'm increasing the blur value significantly at the center point. Now I'm turning on the keyframe for blur. Then I'm moving ahead in time and setting the blur value to 0. And at the very end, I'm setting the blur value back to high again. So the effect goes: starts at 0 blur, then blurs completely, then back to 0. This creates that dreamy, smooth transition between scenes. Make sure you adjust the graph like this. I'm creating those curves to make the blur transition smooth and organic rather than linear and robotic. Perfect. Now I'm just copying and pasting this adjustment layer for the next transition. This keeps the visual style consistent throughout the entire piece.
Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman. Show like a desperate salesman. Showcase.
I'm looking at our falling man animation, and I think it's moving too fast, so let's adjust the keyframes to slow it down. I'm selecting the keyframes and dragging them further apart like this. Now the animation moves smoothly and slowly.
Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman. Showcase your best work on social media and let clients come to you. From chasing clients to clients chasing you.
Now everything is looking perfect. But our tutorial doesn't end here. The real magic starts now. We're going to add sound effects, and this is what's going to take your edit from good to absolutely incredible. First, I'm adding whoosh sound effects where the transitions happen. These create that sense of movement and energy. I'm placing a whoosh sound right here where the first animation transitions.
First,
and another one here.
are you struggling to find clients? First, change change your mindset. First, change your mindset. Stop chasing the mindset. Stop chasing them like a desperate.
Where the light flicker is happening, I'm using light bulb sound effects. These are perfect for that flickering light animation we created.
Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman.
All these sound effects are included in the assets folder. So if you want all the assets with this exact project file, just join the membership and you'll be able to download them and practice with the exact same files I'm using.
Showcase your best work on social media.
And here's a small request to everyone watching and making their own edit following this tutorial. Please tag me on Instagram so I can see how many people I've helped. If your edit looks really good, I'll repost it and share it in my stories. It would make my day to see your work. Now I'm using this click sound effect for the text animations. Every time text appears, I'm adding a subtle click sound. This adds rhythm and makes the animation feel more impactful.
From chasing clients to clients to clients.
Now I need a riser sound effect. I'm going to add a riser from the Premiere Composer extension. This extension is completely free, by the way. I'm going to the sound folder in Premiere Composer, and I'm adding this riser sound effect. I'm placing the riser here in the timeline. Make sure you decrease the volume level so it doesn't overpower everything else.
First, change your mindset. Stop chasing.
When the riser ends, I need a big impact sound. So I'm adding the cinematic impact sound effect right here. This creates that powerful moment when the animation peaks.
Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman. Showcase your best work on social media and let clients come to you. From chasing clients to client.
I have another small riser sound that I'm adding here to build tension and anticipation.
Come to you. From chasing clients to clients. Chasing clients to clients.
And at the very end of the video, I'm using both risers together for maximum impact.
Chasing you. Are you struggling to find clients? First, change your mindset. Stop chasing them like a desperate salesman. Showcase your best work on social.
I'm reducing the volume level slightly across all the sound effects, making sure they don't overlap or clash with the voiceover. The voiceover should always be clear and prominent.
from chasing clients to clients chasing you.
Now for the last touch-up, I'm adding an adjustment layer on top of everything. I'm going to Effects, and I'm finding the RGB blur effect. I'm adding it to the adjustment layer. Now I'm creating a rounded mask. Something like this. The edges are going to be slightly blurred, which adds this cinematic vignette effect and draws the viewer's attention to the center of the frame. If you don't find the RGB blur effect in your version of Premiere Pro, you can just use any blur effect. Regular Gaussian blur will work fine too. All the assets I used in this tutorial, the images, the sound effects, the animation presets, the flicker effect, everything, are available in the Assets folder along with the complete project file, but only for YouTube members. It's such an insane situation for you. So much value in one place. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope you learned something new today and that you're excited to create your own minimal motion graphics reel.